Oh, this is hilarious, guys. I've been talking all this time, and I forgot to push the go live button on YouTube. Lord help me. And I forgot everything I just said. So I've been sitting here wondering why no one's in the chat. And it's because I didn't go live yet. I've been talking for like 10 minutes. So, hey, how are you? Oh, the South African Patriot from Instagram. Thank you for coming to listen. So as I already said, for 10 minutes with no one watching, hey Peter, hey, yeah, so I've been seeing these stories all day, hey Ben, that the South African government has now called the U.S. international terrorists for killing an international terrorist. Interesting, right? So, and they have vowed to support Iran. And I know this shouldn't be funny, and it's definitely not funny for the citizens of South Africa, but the last thing the South African government needs to do right now is support Iran. They're already in a world of shit, whether they realize it or not. They refuse to heed warnings sent to them in, so many words. There was a letter sent to Ramaphosa by Trump and Theresa May, which, as I was saying earlier when no one was watching, I'm sure that Theresa May did not do this out of the kindness of her heart. She probably participated under duress in a lot of threats to be cut off from money and many other things. And sure, I will send that to you on Instagram. But the letter got sent nonetheless on BBEE, basically telling Ramaphosa, the shit's not working, you need to figure it out. Of course, he did not take heed of that. And for anyone that doesn't know, Trump just cut $19 billion in funding to South Africa because they were not following international standards for workers. So, BBEE. And another thing I mentioned before when no one was watching is that, BBEE is something that myself and others that I have worked with have, tried to tackle head on. In every legal filing that's been made, the remedies listed in these legal filings, you list 3 remedies. So those remedies have been, number 1, to end BBEE. Number 2, to take land expropriation off the table. And number 3, to allow for the Boer and Afrikaner people to create their own protection agency, their own police, a government system for their protection. And they should have this because, if the Chinese can come in and build their own police stations and not be subject to BBEE hiring policies, and Thabo Mbeki so underhandedly did away with the commando system, never replacing them as promised with another security for farmers and the rural communities, why shouldn't the Afrikaner and the Boer, why shouldn't they have their own protection? Sorry, I'm reading the comments, guys. The day Jan Smuts died, South Africa died. Oh, that's so sad. BBEE is worse than apartheid. So for any Americans, there is BBEE. So the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Act. This says that South Africa can only hire 7% white workforce, regardless of qualifications. When this racist hiring policy was put into place, many highly skilled workers, even highly trained and effective police, military, and others, lost jobs to low-level, unskilled workers that were incompetent, still are. That's why the police force don't solve crimes. They do nothing but commit crimes, as far as I can see. But not only do they have that, but there is affirmative action for the 90% majority. Yet their unemployment rate is something like 40%. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So if you have BBEE in place and you have affirmative action for the 90% majority, there should be no reason why you do not have a job. You have every opportunity in the world. On top of all of this, the white post about this on Facebook, because I realized something yesterday speaking to Alice, and I said this on a video yesterday, is that I don't see myself in the way that other people see me, but we rarely see ourselves in the way that others see us. So the people in South Africa that I speak for and I try to help, they don't see themselves in the way that I see them. So I see you as people that built a thriving first world country from dust in a savage land where there's never been anything like South Africa, and there never will be again, if something's not done. And I see you as beaten down, by the government, 25 years of psychological warfare on your minds, spirits, bodies, and literally your souls. But I see people that have been beaten down, but that are not so broken that they cannot get up again. I see strength where maybe the people don't. And I find hope in the fact that I already know the ending. Anyway, the world has been spoon-fed lies that South Africa was stolen, the land was stolen, this and that and the other. They don't take the time to go and read the history and find the facts and realize that where the Afrikaner, the Boer, the English are being attacked and everything they built is being destroyed, people should be thanking them for bringing modern medicine, modern architecture, healthcare, education, mining, farming, to a land that is not easily farmed. I mean, this is not farmland. It's never been farmland. Yet these people managed to farm it successfully over generations, of this information being passed down. And it takes more than just moving on a farm and saying, I'm going to farm it. It also takes relationships with vendors and knowledge to be able to make it a success. I mean, if it were that easy, everyone would be doing it. And the ANC, the farms that they did, test out this crap on, there wouldn't have been a 90% failure rate, which there is. If it were that easy, it would be easy. So Afrikaans boer, I will tell you, I have tried to have civil discourse in the past over just historical facts, right? So what I just said about who built South Africa. And I realized very quickly that it was impossible, because when I presented facts, I was told that the indigenous African people invented everything, including but not limited to electricity, cell phones, running water, the internet, everything, and that evil white people sold us from them. You can't have civil discourse and rational conversation with people who believe this. I mean, it really blows my mind. I don't understand it. I've never seen the level of delusion in my life. But these people really believe this stuff. Oh, they'll never think, oh, I know. But they will suffer greatly. Malema comes from Zimbabwe. I didn't know that. Happy New Decade. Right. The ANC took over, and the failure rate was almost 100%. So what I failed to mention is the farms that are still operational. I say operational. That doesn't mean fully functioning, thriving. I just mean even on their last leg. The only real success were DA-regulated handovers, where the proper mentorship and training for the farmers. Yeah, it takes a lot of mentorship. It takes skill. You can't just do. Yeah, they invented it all. I made a joke the other day because someone said something. There was a comment on Facebook, and there was a picture from a time when there were no cameras. And a guy commented and said, "Oh, you had cameras?" And I commented back and said, "Well, yeah, they did invent everything, including cameras, so they probably did." Yeah, the liberal mindset, which is a mental disorder, in my opinion. I usually don't bitch. I'm trying to be diplomatic. They're not going to lock up Zuma. He knows too much about everyone. And everything that's all of the court hearings and proceedings, it's all a sham and a show. No one is going to really convict him or do anything, because he knows everything on everyone. I agree with you, Alex. Why can't you invent it now? They totally did invent everything. I hate to be so negative, guys. Like, I try to be diplomatic and fair and give the benefit of doubt. I'm kind of at a crossroads where I'm done with that. And, I said not long ago, it's time that people start telling the truth. And all BS aside and all jokes aside, the truth of who's destroying South Africa, and not only South Africa, but a lot of places in the world, including every democratic city in America. The truth of that is not going to change, no matter how many people lie about it, cover it up, make excuses. The truth is the truth. The history of South Africa, who was there first, who built it, that's never going to change. No matter how many statues they tear down, no matter how many flags they ban, no matter how many national anthems they want to ban, people hate what makes them feel small. People hate what makes them feel inferior. People hate what they're not. And they seek to destroy these things because it is a reminder of 25 years of failure. More than that, if you want to get technical, but that's the reason that they seek to take these things away. It's a reminder of the things that they cannot do. I agree with you, Rich. Brainwash is a terrible thing, especially when you are mostly uneducated and have been told your entire life that these nameless, faceless group of people are out to get you and keep you from ever succeeding in life. That does a great disservice to humanity as a whole, and it keeps people from ever reaching their potential if they had any in the first place. Yeah, truth. That is so true. So Concerned South African said, truth sounds like hate to them. So anything that, and it's the same thing with liberals here. If they don't agree with it, it's hate. You're a racist. You're a woman hater. You're a what the hell ever. They have got so many names for everything. People who don't even know what the hell gender they are. They want to put labels on everyone else. You know what I tell them? Fuck you. When they say things that are ridiculous, I tell them they're assholes, that they are ridiculous, that they're lying, and I'm not taking it, because I'm not. Yeah. So Afrikaans Boer says, I just wish we would stand together. I know that you guys maybe can't see it because you're on the inside, but every day I see it a little bit more and more. Of course, it's not where it needs to be, but I truly believe that when the time comes, that people will stand together. I wish it were now. I wish I saw more people supporting each other and putting their differences aside. You don't always have to agree to fight the same fight. You just have to find a common ground, right? So the common ground is you want the murders to stop, and you want the discrimination to stop. You want the ANC to stop. That's enough. That's enough. Yes, Gregory, I understand. I completely understand, and I don't care. I speak about these assholes In Europe, the Rothschilds, the Freemasons, that have been planning and perpetrating this against people of European descent for a very long time, and others that I will not mention because I need to be diplomatic. Hey Bruno, my only moderator here. Everybody watch out. We should do a live stream. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Yeah, it's been going on for 200 years. I mean, guys, I understand the complicated dynamics behind why people can't stand together or won't. They can, they just won't. And I understand that the grudges run very deep, and I understand why, but there comes a time when you have to put even that aside if you want a future, for your children. If you have Instagram, follow at South African Patriot. I follow him on Instagram. I don't use my Instagram a lot. I'm not great at. I get aggravated because I can't share links and things like that. But it is a very useful tool. Scared for my children. Yeah, it's my personal belief that the way things are going now, that no white child in South Africa has a future. And the saddest part is I've even researched and looked into trying to get children out, orphans and things like that. And the government makes it nearly impossible. I mean, unless you are uber wealthy, they will not let these children out of the country. And it makes me furious. Not mentioning we stand divided, meaning the USA is now starting to see it's been going on. Yeah, we're very divided here, but I'm lucky because I live in Texas. And although Texas has some problems because of liberals in the major cities, native Texans and the rural communities, we remain the same, and we will stand together and we will fight together should the shit hit the fan. It's always been my belief that if all of America fell, that Texas would still stand. We are very determined people. We are fighters. We are seen as arrogant by the rest of the U.S., but we earned it. And I'm not sorry. You are very stubborn. I would agree. "3,000 years. Recent DNA evidence shows early." Yeah, I posted a story a while back that older remains have been found in Europe, older than ever before. So all that bullshit that we're all from Africa originate. I'm not my DNA has no African DNA. I am not a albino. I am of European descent. I'm Irish, I'm Dutch, I'm German, I'm Scandinavian. I'm not African. Hello, Grim Reaper. But yeah, I hear somebody. My son is awake, guys. I'm gonna have to cut it short. I don't want him on camera. But I think I forgot to tell you guys that you're not Bantu. I'm not Bantu either. I'm not Bantu. I'm not Zulu. I'm not, my DNA is not African. They always try to insult me and tell me I'm an albino and all kind of stuff. I just tell them to kiss my ass, the whitest part of it. You're late. It's okay, Cobus. I forgive you. We were just speaking about whether all people of European descent originated in Africa, which I do not believe to be true. And I've read a study where they found older skeletal remains in Europe. Communists like tyrannical governments, but communists who have never experienced real communism. So we have all of these brats, crybaby socialists. I bet you if we sent them to South Africa for a year, the ones that did come back wouldn't be socialist anymore. Humanity did not originate out of Africa. You are insane and you're about to be blocked. And you need to research your science. Since you're so smart, read a book. That's old news, and there is a lot of new findings. I did not originate from Africa. I've had a DNA test. There's no African DNA in my DNA. Okay, buddy. Okay, baby. Okay. Let's migrate the boar over there.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you just wake up? Are you from?
Hi.
Hey, are you from Africa? No. Exactly. So look up the father of genetics. His.
Uncle Sean.
It's not Uncle Sean. Look up his study and his report in his findings on the difference in races. This was a go-to man for 40 years for everything to do with genetics. All of a sudden, when he reported honestly on a study that he did on the races, it's racist science. Well, science can't be racist. It's based on facts, not opinions, and facts cannot be racist. But he spoke of many differences, and he actually said that, yes, we're all human beings, but technically two separate species of human being. And he tells the time frame where we split. He talks about difference in bone structure, jaw protrusion, brain size, you name it. We're not all the same. Thank you, Rich. He's really funny. He actually is speaking Afrikaans better than me or my daughter. He just started mimicking her Afrikaans lessons. Why, can you say, buy a donkey? Huh? Can you say, buy a donkey to Miss Alice? Where's Miss Alice? He's not feeling it. But I don't know the name of this study and the findings.
Read it. Read it.
I will, baby, here. But everyone should read this because it's very informative and it's true. I mean, it's facts. As I said, science cannot be racist. And whether people want to hear it or not, we're not all the same. Why do we have to be the same? I don't understand. Why can't people be proud to be who they are, and then I can be proud to be who I am? No, Wyatt, you're not going to tear that up. Quit. Here, call your mammy. Guys, he's trying to tear my stuff up. Here. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna go so you guys don't have to But tomorrow I'll be... Why, that was very rude. I'll be coming on with Alice between 11:30 or 12, whatever time I can get him to sleep. And we're going to talk about my turn South Africa. We're also going to talk about the onslaught of attacks, harassment, threats against Alice, Jason Bartlett, myself.
Hi.
Hi.
Morning.
You're bipolar.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Go sit in the corner. I agree. They are blessings. He is a blessing. He's really a sweet boy. He just, if I'm paying attention to anything else, God forbid, she has to tear the house down. Your cousin lives in Florida. Cool. Tantrum. Yeah, he was trying to rip all my stuff out. My camera, everything. But yeah, so I'll be back on tomorrow, guys, between 11:30 and 12, in a live stream. Johnny, I'm just kidding. Sorry. He's just barely 2. He doesn't understand. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you can come. I really wanted to do a live stream with Alice so that we could see, comments and answer questions. I haven't been able to live stream in the past because of my internet. So now that I am, I want to do this with her. He is a boy. It is natural. I don't get upset with him. Right. We're not the same, Gregory. Okay, so I'm out, guys. I gotta go take care of this little guy right here. He's probably hungry. But I'll see you guys tomorrow between 11:30 and 12 with Alice. And everyone have a good night, okay? And God bless.